Yo, Elliot! Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Ken Little from Tampa, and he's made his way over to Strength Camp here today to share a little bit about what he's looking for in this Yo Elliott consultation. So take it away, bud.
So basically I don't know how to put this, it's kind of a long story. When I was 15, I got in a car accident. I got hit by a drunk driver, and it was in my neighborhood. So it caused a lot of problems, not just with my spine, but so over the years my spine kind of became degenerative. I had at one point 7 herniated discs. So over time they kind of shrunk, but the bones now grind together. So
the discs degenerated completely where now there's bone on bone.
Yeah, well, the SI, the nubs on the side, right? They grind.
So this is down within your hip?
My sacrum, yeah. So almost all of the pain now is all in my hips and pelvis. So I've been able to work up and deadlift and exercise, but if I have to, there's a certain amount where I have to have strength conditioning and to keep my spine strong.
Yeah, keep the spokes tightened.
Yeah, but if I do too much, I'm crippled for days and or weeks.
You've had that experience before?
For sure.
Where you do a squat or a deadlift?
So squatting tends to be the definite culprit, because I only weigh 160 pounds.
Right.
So if I squat heavy, just the compression.
Right, the loading. You have no discs to load on.
Exactly.
The discs are like cushions that sit in between, and I know you know this. Yeah. But if you're axial loading and you have degenerate discs, they will set on each other and further cause pain and deterioration.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a tough thing for you to do, I imagine.
So I can try to front squat and stuff, and that'll help, but I've never ever been able to push as hard as I want to. So I guess I've always had dreams that revolve around my physical body. I always wanted to be strong. Not I kind of wanted to be a superhero kind of thing.
Yeah, every boy wants to be a superhero at some point.
So that I kind of still do, but that's so I've always kind of focused on that. And so not being able to has caused me then kind of an emotional struggle.
Right.
So I taught Kung Fu for many years.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do that as a living, but I was never able to have the confidence or to have I always felt like something was going to go wrong. My back never let me
you've had this chink in your armor. You're going out there to do battle, but you've got this sore spot.
Yes. So I've just kind of noticed that all of my goals revolve around my physical body, but then this limitation keeps on somehow coming into play, and I've never been able to kind of reconcile that. Is it meant for me to have maybe this more spiritual kind of motivation instead of just the physical one? So I try to do yoga, and I've been doing it for over 7 years, and I try to do other things, but still I can't help but to always have this insecure feeling that my back is just going to give out. What kind of future can I really have? If I want to go climb a mountain somewhere and meditate on top of the mountain, am I gonna is it going to give out halfway up kind of thing?
So you're dealing with two things. I often say the body is the mind, and is it a chicken or an egg, but you're dealing with the degenerated discs, your actual physical pain, but you're also dealing with a tremendous amount of fear.
Yeah.
And just interesting that in the chakra system, are you familiar? You do yoga, so you must know this, how the body is the mind. Right, the root chakra, your sacrum.
Yeah.
It is your grounding, it is your safety and security. For you, it's your launching pad for life. For you to have the confidence to do anything up the escalating ladder of your advancement, you're becoming the strongest version of yourself, rests firmly on your relationship to your roots, to your root chakra, to your sacrum. I mean, it's the sacral spot. And it makes perfect sense that you're showing up physically, but now it's, it shows up in your life.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And when you, like, I watch videos and stuff of yours, and like I've heard you say it. Like I know, like sometimes people will say in certain things, like the back is what, like if you have back pain, it's linked to like security and things like that. But makes sense logically.
When I say the body is the mind, I'm literal when I say that, because the brain, the physical mechanism of the brain, and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, and the organs they innervate, and the muscles they innervate, and the mechanism they work to express itself in the world is one thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it only makes perfect sense that in many different ways, our body gives off signals as to what is going on in our higher. You know, our brain is like an antenna. So there's a lot of intangibles, right? Like when the antenna is pulling in radio waves, and now we live in the internet wave where this is just shooting all kinds of stuff all over the place and we take it for granted. Yeah. Our brain does the same thing, not just through our eyes, but through, you know, other unseen forces.
Yeah, so I kind of wonder if I struggle wondering if like I'm choosing to do this thing kind of like out of an ego type thing where like, oh, I want to do this because that's what I want to do, but maybe fate or those unseen forces of sorts have a different plan for me. And like I don't know like if that's what I'm meant for, and I'm just kind of trying to force it over and over again because I don't.
What is your first instinct?
I feel like it's, even when I was little, this is what I wanted. It was before I really had put too much thought into it.
To be into the physical world,
yeah.
To be a coach, to be a martial arts instructor.
Yeah, and just to have that, like that be the basis of it.
Right, physicality.
Yeah.
Great. Well, you were just sent on the most fascinating, actually the best lesson learned path for being just that, by being blessed with your injury. I'm fascinated with mythology, obviously, and I'm also fascinated with astrology. And I learned about one of our new planets in our solar system called Chiron. Okay. And I resonate deeply with Chiron because Chiron...
It's a cool name.
Yeah, it's a fucking cool name. I might get Chiron tattooed on my back. I've been thinking about it. Chiron earned its name because of who Chiron in mythology is, and he was, if you do a little research, you'll find it on Wikipedia, he was the master healer teacher to Achilles, who mentored Achilles, healed him, trained him, and many others, because he's the master healer teacher. His plight is that he could never heal himself. You might want to go look at Chiron and see what Chiron's all about, because that's an empowering story to support someone who's going through a Chironic journey.
I mean, it's funny because like I have, after I kind of, and just did things like retail management and that kind of stuff as work, and it really got to the point where like I just can't, like it's not, money is not my motivation, like I to go and to sell people things that they don't really need, or...
Yeah, those are all distractions from your path. You're on a healing path, which is very evident, and it has everything to do with your body. And it seems like your heart knows that. Your heart doesn't go into retail management.
So I left and went back and got my degree in public health.
Good, you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and I've always really wanted to learn Chinese medicine.
There may be something there for you.
Yeah, it kind of went along with the Kung Fu.
What has helped you?
Lifting, like definitely.
Okay,
like, it
good.
does.
Well, lifting is a healing modality. Lifting is medicine. Why would you need to go into Chinese medicine? I'm not trying to sway you. I'm just trying to show you the blessings that are at your door.
Yeah.
When the method by which you've started the healing process, and the one that you seem to be interested in, is right there for you.
I guess maybe it is the insecurity, like, it's just like, oh, like I can understand how to do it and stuff, like, and there are some days where I do feel super strong and like, I can work
You're
out.
the best coach. You're the best coach that the world could have. One of my teachers, Paul Check, says, he uses a very similar term as to what Chiron is, and he says, you know, the wounded healer. The wounded healer. The wounded physician is the best physician. Now today, this day and age, we're transcending the old mindset that we need someone to crown us. the healer, right? You know, you went to medical school, or you went to
Yeah.
to Chinese medicine school, whatever it is. Someone to grant us that, but by us merely being someone who's healing ourselves, we can't help but to be the healer of that ill in others. Yours is very osteopathic, but you're also very clear that it's also psycho-emotional. It's all of it. We're one thing.
Yeah.
So, just throwing this out there, I spark. That's why, you know, we have these conversations, and not everything flies, not everything burns. But yeah, it might be a good idea for you to continue to heal yourself. Put all your focus on being the strongest version of yourself. I mean, that's really the message, and I think you're doing that. You're doing that a lot, but also with the intention of healing others, because you come from the most empathetic place for someone who's going to be dealing with what they're going to show up at your door with.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to train or exercise with someone who is perfectly healthy and strong and stuff, and they just want to lift for fun, and it's not the same for me. Like, I do it because I not just for a physical, I enjoy it. It's like I need it. I think if I don't do it,
you're a practitioner of the medicine of exercise, exercise medicine. Whether you've gotten the degree or not, you know, you're doing it to help support yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you wanted to talk about your path in life and whatnot. That seems like a kind of logical path.
Yeah.
For a healer like you. And you know, when I use that term, I speak with everyone, you know, in my family this way, and I was speaking with someone very close to me about being our own contractor, health contractor, and that has a lot to do with education, meaning taking a holistic approach to what's needed for my own healing, and then finding professionals in that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Finding the best professionals, and another part of that conversation was the best professionals are no longer tied into the medical model.
Yeah.
They're non-jobbers. They're asking people to pay them out of the pocket because they're great healers.
I've really truly lost faith in regular doctors.
The medical model.
Yeah,
it's a part of a dying institution.
Yeah, I started going and when I was to doctors when I was 15.
Yeah.
And they were like, sure, you have these discs, but they couldn't explain to me why I hurt. And they couldn't explain to me why it never got any better, and they never gave me any alternative. At first they told me don't work out. And so I went from being super athletic as a kid to for a few years, I just shriveled away because they were don't exercise.
You went through a metamorphosis on a hero's journey. And how old are you now?
Yeah, I'm 36 now.
36. How many years is that?
So 16, so more than half my life.
16 years. Yeah, so you're on a new path now.
Yeah.
You're expanding. You're another version of yourself.
Definitely.
You know, people get to watch me on YouTube and they think it's funny that there's that Elliott, that Elliott, that Elliott. Each Elliott is a new Elliott. Yo Elliott was a new Elliott because there was an Elliott before that. Yeah. And I think it's wonderful to give people permission and to embrace the fact that, I'm on various different missions here and evolving very many different parts of myself through this time. And I feel very confident that you're at the start of a brand new cycle for yourself.
That means a lot to me. I think I have a habit, I think I've seen a lot of people, but it's easy to want to hold on to what you used to be, or
Well, let me put it this way, how selfish you'd be if you hold on to what it used to be. You would be robbing all the people that are meant to receive the gift that you're put here to give yourself and give others. Do you see where I'm going with that?
No.
Yeah, it's I take it on as a responsibility a lot of times, you know, when I do the work that I do, because it's well, if Elliott Hulse didn't exist, and I've done a lot of that already, so I've got a good track record.
Yeah.
But we're all here to do that. That's why in Strength Camp it says, become the strongest version of yourself. Well, I didn't have it plastered here yet, which it should be, but anybody who's listened to me long enough, they know it's and empower one another, empower others. And that's a righteous path, brother.
No, definitely. I've kind of come to that understanding that it's not going to be about money. It's not going to be about a lot of things.
It is about money. Money has a lot to do with self-worth.
Sure.
Money has a lot to do with truth, because money doesn't bullshit. Money goes like water where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to be, and I'm just throwing this out there because I'm ranting for the camera,
Sure.
I'm playing Yo Elliott. If you're going to be out there healing yourself and healing others, you need resources to do that really well. And that's why I still champion the non-jobs campaign, my whole idea about being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Why not become the strongest version of yourself and empower others through your business? Learn marketing and sales.
It makes sense.
Yeah, because the more you get out there in marketing and sales, the more people you can serve. And one thing that I know dwindles very quickly is your time, my time. So my time starts going more and more valuable. That's why this would have otherwise cost you $1,000 to sit down here. And it's not because I'm a jerk.
No.
It's because my time is very valuable and I value the work that I do in the world. And I only say that because that's the place, that's the sentiment from which I know you can proceed.
Okay. I guess I am not as eloquent, and when I said money, I guess I more mean like the traditional like job.
Where money used to go.
Yes. And I kind of just, what I was trying to say is, I know I just want to give to people. Like that's what truly brings
brother.
me happiness. Not the money. Yes, you do need money, and I don't want to say that that's not true, because that's just not real. But I'm just saying, I think for me, before even, is that motivation of helping other people is really what will bring me.
Yeah,
like,
it'll get you up in the morning every day.
Yeah.
As long as your needs are being met, your safety and security is being met. Remember too, the physical manifestation that you chose, I like to say that, we choose our paths, even things that seem freak, is for your soul's healing as it relates to safety and security, groundedness. So one thing for sure, and this all unfolds sequentially if we allow it and we're aware of it, getting your own roots deep and nourished so that you have the groundedness and the inspiration from that groundedness, your truth, to carry others, because that's what we end up doing. Because if you've been a trainer before, is this correct? Yeah, they come not just for your technical, they'll also come for your story, and you've got a great one, but they come because you give them life, you give them energy. I say coaching is kinging.
Yeah. And
that has everything to do with being full, really full of ourselves. People think that's crazy when I say that, and anybody who says Elliott's full of himself, yeah, I am. That's why I have enough to give. And it's all about me. And I just say this so that you can take the same attitude. All about you, all about your own healing, and all about truth. And if I was to bring it right back down to earth, and what you're dealing with, which is very tangible, is the pain that's associated with the injury and now the degeneration of your discs and ultimately your bones, especially if you do any axial loading. I would like to begin speaking in that direction of how we can, maybe you don't need to squat 600 pounds, right? But you know that lifting is healing to you, and that it would be a good idea for you to be able to axially load bare weight, right? I mean, do you have a family yet? No, okay. Maybe one day you're going to want to carry your wife across the threshold. I didn't do that. We just bought a new house. I didn't do that. I'm going to go home and do that.
Go do it.
Carry her across Did we do it? I don't remember. But yeah, so you know what I'm going at. You're going to want to carry people in your life. You're going to want to support people in your life. You're going to be there. You're a king. So it has all to do with, deepening your roots and your connection to you. And so to do that, I would like to just propose a few different ideas to you that maybe you've thought of. We'll bat back and forth. Sure. But I would like to first do that by looking at you. Okay. Why don't we take your shoes off? Are you cool?
Yeah.
Good, let's do that then. So talk to me about the pain, where it originates, where it radiates, and what you're dealing with.
Sure. So if I spin around, it mostly comes down into just above the sacrum, but it'll radiate into the hips and the top of the glutes.
Top of the glutes, I bet a lot, huh? Do you get do these muscles get hard and tense?
Yes.
Well, a number of things. Yeah, you're 100% right. You could use some glute help.
Definitely.
Exercise-wise, I'm going to ask a couple questions. Do you do hip extension exercises? Non-weight bearing hip extension exercises?
Like body weight on the ground or on the...
Show me what you would do. I'm not going to prescribe you a program. I'm going to show you some exercises. That exercise, incredible. Also, supine lateral ball roll. I'd like to introduce you to an exercise that will allow you to begin the process of strengthening down there without load bearing. I mean, there are lots of them.
Sure.
I'd love to show you. So what I'm thinking now, of course, is make do with what we have, right? So if you can't bear weight because of the spine, then we can build the lower body without bearing weight, and there are lots of different ways we can do that. This is not the fix, this is not the end-all be-all, but it gets the ball rolling a little bit, might change your hormones a little bit too, right? You know, when you get those muscles engaged and you're sucking wind from squatting, that's a very anabolic stimulator. Level 3, I've seen some guys do this with a lot of weight, like 400 pounds, 405. Put your here, and then now you really it's resistance training. So you're really squeezing your butt and your upper hamstrings to get this going. Good. I always like to rest the head. I don't know if there's a way you can find to do that, but
Here?
yeah. Chris, I gotta give a shout out to the guys who made this. So put this in the video. Look at these big ass chains.
Serious chain.
Yeah, you know what? Those hip extension exercises, we could probably do with these too.
Lay them across?
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier to do than a barbell. One of these big ass chains. I think these weigh at least 100 pounds. Yeah, they're about 100 pounds each. So the company that sent them to me are called Big Ass Chains, and I think you could find it on Amazon. They sent me a fucking Amazon box with this. 200 pounds of chain came to me by Amazon. This is their idea. Chains. Yeah, you can use a dip belt essentially, but look, I'm not loading my spine.
Yeah.
You see, I don't know if it's the movement that hurts your spine or it's the loading, but you can go pretty heavy here and not have any load on your spine. In fact, it might feel good because it's decompressing my spine. I feel deep decompression right here, which actually feels fucking great. Ooh, and then kind of come slow after that. Be easier, but you get the gist of it.
Yep.
How do you feel there?
It feels good. Like I can't feel it on my back at all.
Yeah. So you can use all of these exercises to do a number of different things. The first exercises are going to build the small muscles, your stabilizer muscles. You really want to build a solid foundation with your stabilizers being strong. I think it was Charles Poliquin used to say, trying to build big muscles with exercises like this with no stability is like trying to fire a cannon from a rowboat. Yeah, there's no stability there, so you're building big muscles. A lot of athletes get injured that way. So work with the stability ball, doing those exercises. You can work this exercise, which is wonderful, and obviously you feel good with that. So those are just all things you could add to your program, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Cool. We're done.